Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. WarriorsTrade NBA breaking news is flooding the basketball world tonight, and it's centered right on the Golden State Warriors. The reports swirling around the league are pointing to something that could change the entire direction of this franchise. One of the Warriors' very own stars may be on the move, and the whispers are becoming louder. The rumors are becoming more concrete, and now we have insiders hinting that a deal is close to being confirmed. Fans are stunned. The NBA community is buzzing and questions are flying. Who is leaving? Where are they going? And what does this mean for Stephen Curry and the Warriors' championship window? Golden State has been one of the most talked about teams in the league for more than a decade. But this moment feels different. We've seen roster shakeups before. We've seen trades come and go, but the stakes feel higher now. The Warriors aren't just fighting to stay competitive. They're fighting to extend the dynasty. And with the Western Conference as stacked as it is, the margin for error is razor thin. Now, with a potential star on the move, things are getting very real very fast. Insiders across the NBA are suggesting that the Warriors front office has been working behind the scenes for weeks to evaluate trade options. The name floating around is shocking for fans because this isn't just a role player or someone at the end of the rotation. This is a player who has been crucial to Golden State's system, a name every fan recognizes, and a player who has shared the court with Stephen Curry during some of the biggest games in recent history. The idea that this star could be packing their bags is a jolt of reality that dynasties don't last forever, and the Warriors might be preparing for the next chapter. Why would the Warriors consider moving such an important piece right now? It all comes down to a combination of performance, salary cap pressure, and long-term vision. Golden State is facing one of the most expensive payrolls in NBA history, and the new collective bargaining rules make it even more punishing for teams that go over the luxury tax. The front office knows they can't keep everybody, and they can't ignore the fact that younger teams in the West are faster, hungrier, and built for the future. To stay competitive, their Warriors need to make a bold move, even if that means saying goodbye to someone who has been part of their identity. Fans are already speculating about who this could be. Some are pointing to Andrew Wiggins, who has been both a vital two-way player and a frustratingly inconsistent piece over the past season. Others think it could be Draymond Green, the heart and soul of the team, but also someone whose fiery presence has caused turbulence. Still, there's a group of fans worried that the front office might even consider moving Klay Thompson, a franchise legend whose future with the team has already been in question. Whoever it is, the idea of one of these stars being moved feels almost impossible to imagine. But at the same time, every dynasty eventually faces these difficult crossroads. The rumors really started heating up when league insiders reported that multiple teams have reached out to the Warriors with interest in acquiring one of their core players. One team in the Eastern Conference has reportedly offered a package of draft picks and a young rising star in exchange, while a Western Conference contender has dangled a veteran who could provide immediate impact. The Warriors front office has been quiet publicly, but behind closed doors, the conversations are real, and according to the latest chatter, a framework of a deal is already in place. This is where things get even more interesting. If the Warriors actually pull the trigger and confirm this deal, it signals a complete shift in their strategy. No longer are they clinging to nostalgia or hoping the old core can just magically turn back the clock. Instead, they'd be acknowledging that the dynasty era is moving into a new phase, and they'd be betting on fresh talent to keep Curry's championship hopes alive. That's a tough pill to swallow for fans who have cherished every second of the Splash Brothers era, but it's also a necessary step in the harsh reality of today's NBA. Stephen Curry's voice in all of this cannot be underestimated. The franchise has always made moves with Curry's timeline in mind, and he has repeatedly said he wants to compete for championships until the very end. That puts enormous pressure on management to deliver the right supporting cast. A deal like this, if confirmed, would mean the Warriors believe Curry's best chance isn't with the same group that won titles in 2015, 2017, 2018, and 2022, but with a new mix of talent that could inject energy and firepower into the lineup. For Warriors fans, the emotional reaction is intense. Social media has exploded with debates, arguments, and passionate defenses of their favorite stars. Some fans are begging the front office not to break up the core, pointing to the legacy of Curry, Clay, and Draymond as something that should be preserved until they retire. Others argue that the team has to be realistic. Nostalgia doesn't win championships, and the roster needs a shake-up if they want to stand toe-to-toe with teams like Denver, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City. It's a battle of loyalty versus logic, and it's ripping through the fan base. One of the biggest factors in this story is what Golden State would actually get in return. The details are still being kept under wraps, but what's being reported is that the deal could bring in both young assets and immediate contributors. That's crucial because the Warriors can't afford a full rebuild while Curry is still playing at an elite level. They need players who can step in right now, make an impact, and grow into the future. If this deal is truly confirmed, it could bring the best of both worlds: new energy for the present and insurance for the future. Around the league, rival teams are watching closely. If the Warriors make this move, it doesn't just affect their own future, it shakes up the balance of power. A Western Conference rival might suddenly find themselves facing a very different version of Golden State, while an Eastern team could be adding a proven champion to their roster. The ripple effects could be massive. And with the playoffs approaching, every contender is calculating what this means for their own path to the finals. What's even more intriguing is how this potential deal lines up with comments from head coach Steve Kerr earlier this month. Kerr admitted that the Warriors were searching for consistency and needed to look at every option to improve. At the time, it sounded like general coach talk, but now it feels like a hint at the changes that were already being discussed behind the scenes. So, here we are tonight on the brink of a massive shake-up. The words "deal confirmed" are sending shockwaves across the NBA. And while the final details are still being worked out, the writing is on the wall: Golden State is about to look different. The question is whether that difference will reignite their championship chase or signal the fading of an era. For fans watching this unfold, all you can do is buckle up. The next 24 to 48 hours could define the future of the Warriors for years to come. If the deal goes through, the reaction will be enormous. The analysis will be non-stop and the emotions will run wild. Their Warriors are standing at a crossroads, and whichever path they take, the NBA will never be the same again.